I have the knowledge. I have the knowledge like you wouldn't believe. It's knowledge about former press secretary Kareem Jean Pierre. Let's go.
Illuminati is a thing you need to watch out for. They want to depopulate and slave us so much more. World domination, I'll get into that later. I'm hardcore, fierce and sexy. You're just a hater. You deserve the ridicule because you're an absolute zero. I'm the keeper of the chalice, a rock and roll hero. I'm not an idiot nobody listens to, because I'm not a failure in life like you. Let's talk about Bill Gates and the mark of the beast and the orgies in the streets at the Catholic feasts and Bill and Hillary's human trafficking ring. And George Soros got the money to pay for everything. Socialism is for losers, working for the devil, chumps that can't fight, they ain't on my level. It takes an evil one to try to debunk a doubter, so I'd rather die than stop talking about it. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out for the Illuminati.
And this is exactly why I don't trust no baby-killing sluts, and I don't trust them cat-eating savages. Hello, what's good, my people? It's the MC Too Tall Show. And of course, you're looking at your hardcore, fierce, and sexy host, MC Too Tall. Now let's get into this situation here. Kareem Jean Pierre, former White House press secretary under Joe Biden, now a private citizen. And she's leaving the Democratic Party. Tulsi Gabbard, RFK Jr., Lindy Lee, that nice Jewish lady that called herself what'd she call herself? A MAGA leftist? She's no leftist. You could go a little further back in time with Dave Rubin. You could go on to people who mocked Dave Rubin for leaving, like Anna Kasparian, who only until recently I used to call that dumb blonde broad from the Young Turks. Now I don't have to call her that anymore because she's actually opening up her mouth about the Democrats. And now Kareem Jean Pierre is. And of course, it's slow. Just like with Rogan, just like with Elon Musk. Both feet in support of Trump aren't happening, of course. But with those two gentlemen, unequivocally, it is. And yes, it's okay to like Donald Trump, but not the bill that he calls the big, beautiful bill. You can like Donald Trump and be in disagreement with Donald Trump about this bill being a big, beautiful bill. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about Kareem Jean Pierre leaving the Democratic Party. And she's coming out with a book called Independent, a look into a broken White House. Now, some of you might say, well, Jake Tapper did something similar to that. Blah, 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 blah. But I'm actually interested in what KJP has to say, or KJP, no relation to KVP. I'm interested in what the former press secretary has to say. Because if there's things in that book that reveal that she was specifically instructed to cover up things that she was noticing and asking questions about. That puts more insight, more genuine insight on this matter than anything that could flow off the pen of Jake Tapper or come out of that duck mouth of his. Jake is but a fool. Kareem Jean Pierre, I sensed, at least in the last year, maybe year and a half, didn't like her job too much. I believe Jen Psaki may have stepped aside because she was fed up with having to push an inferior product. But because she's an NBC hack, or much worse, an MSNBC hack, or MFDNC hack, she just put herself in a position where she can continue to push this inferior product without being liable. And of course, that bag of smelly dog shit was passed on to Kareem Jean Pierre. And I don't blame Kareem Jean Pierre if she never forgives Jen Psaki for that. And she basically talks about, because of what sort of nightmare the Trump administration is supposedly going to bring to our future. I still don't see it, but whatever. You know, she's not fully deprogrammed yet from the cult, I could see. But she's stepping away from the Democratic Party. She's declaring herself an independent. And it's okay to be an independent with an understanding that there might be very few likable things about the Republicans, but there are zero things to like about the Democrats. For example, crime runs rampant because of the Democrats. You knew I had to slip that in to this video. So, it's a really interesting thing. Kareem Jean Pierre leaving the Democratic Party. And why would she do that? Why wouldn't she do that? This is different from Jake Tapper. And I believe the book will reveal some true insider information. And I believe if she links up with Lindy Lee, and in fact goes to Lindy Lee, people that have actually been on the left, link up with Lindy Lee on her podcast, link up with Dave Rubin for the Rubin Report, link up with people who have left the left. And a lot of people don't realize this because Candace Owens gained her prominence after becoming conservative, but she wasn't always conservative either. And yes, if she wants a tough, challenging interview, let her go on Candace Owens' podcast and let her be to her what Megyn Kelly was to Jake Tapper. Then when all this... Oh, Stephen A. Smith calls himself independent. Stephen A. Smith calls himself independent. Go on his show. You know? Go on, what's his name show? Friedman's show. Mm-hmm. Rogan will be a little tough. I think Rogan would be a little tough. But if she does her book tour smart, goes with people that left the left, and then once she strategically picks out all these people that left the left, bam, then go on The View. And if she's not a freaking hack, and if she's not an anybody but Donald Trump hack, like she was when she was at that podium, or like she appeared to be when she was at that podium, she could answer all those nasty questions back to those ladies at The View. Because the ace in her hole is, hey, you weren't there to get these briefs. You weren't there each and every day with the president. I was. This is what I was told. The names, and you know what? And she better have some names in that book, too. And to sell the book, say, this is what I experienced. This is what I saw. This is what I was told not to say about what I saw. And these are the names of the people in this. You'll have to read my book to read the names of the people that told me this. If she's smart. We'll find out how smart she really is. Usually the more evil people on the evil left are the smarter ones. Mm-hmm. For example, I truly don't believe brain dead AOC is as evil as Hillary Clinton. And I don't believe that Hillary Clinton is an airhead. But make no mistake about it, she was an evil, evil woman. She was a sinister, evil, spirit-cooking witch. And you know, when her name comes up, I have to describe her as such at every broadcast. You know how we do up here at the MC Tutal show. If I don't see that open window to bash a Democrat, you're not quite watching the MC Tutal show now, are you? For example, I did a whole MC Tutal show on Ron Savage, who I haven't spoken of in years. I haven't dropped that man's name in years. When I found out he was not only a member of the Democratic Party, but he was an activist for the party, I had to do a whole YouTube video on him. So, yeah. Kareem Jean Pierre is independent, which means I could probably start easing up on her, depending on where her language goes from here. But, as I said at the beginning of this broadcast, anybody with that sixth sense when they're watching the TV, and for those of you who don't have that sixth sense, you probably think I'm on some kind of acid trip right now for talking about the sixth sense and how it coincides with. For people who are capable of reading others' body language, choice of words, influx of words, which is something I'm very good at. And I don't know how I developed that talent. I believe it to be a gift from God. But judging from that, as I said in the beginning of the video, she did not seem to me like she liked her job too much in the last, say, year or year and a half even. So, her book, when it does come out, called Independent, A Look into a Broken White House, I predict will have much more interesting content than anything out of Jake Tapper and that stupid book he wrote. If you're going to buy Jake Tapper's book for its true purpose and what it's really good for, I wish you would reconsider and understand that any supermarket runs a sale on Charmin toilet paper, and you won't scratch up your butt and get ink poisoning up your ass in the process. So on to the I say, as I call on good God from holy heaven above, which man did not create, to rain blessings down upon you. Respect God. Watch out for the Illuminati. Follow and share my videos. Like, subscribe, comment. Tell all your friends about me. Stay strong. Keep kicking that slang. It's your boy in the building. Hey, hip-hop legend, recording engineer, underground rock and roll hero, MC Too Tall.